background is working with children really, so as well as being a SCAD survivor of many years, I've always worked with children, and I think it's really important that most of us have got children in our lives, or either our own children or relatives' children or siblings. So it's important, obviously SCAD affects everyone in some respect, so it's important I think that children have that avenue really to be able to speak when they need to look at what's happened if they've got questions, and for us to build up some skill as to what to say to them and how and when. So I'll just sort of go through here. So first of all, it's at a time when you think it's important to talk to them, or you're sort of seeing that they need to talk, find out what they know already. Just find out what their interpretations are of what's happened, because it may be completely different than what did happen, or it may be different from what you think they know happened. So it's important to really listen to them. They're obviously going to probably ask questions, and it's important to be really honest with those questions, but at really an age-appropriate level as well. So not too graphic, obviously, if they're very young children, or they're very young and they're not going to understand the long words associated with SCAD. So just be mindful to really go at their age and developmental levels. If you're feeling your own children maybe need to talk about SCAD a little bit, or they're struggling and they're not prepared to talk, we can always use interactive pictures, stories, anything to sort of open up some dialogue really as to what they may be feeling or suppressing. That's important. So there are lots of tools out there to really get them to start talking, and obviously if they're very, very young you can use pictures. If they're older and teenagers you can be more verbal. Provide reassurance for these children as well, I think it's important. It's really, make sure they don't think anything they ask is taboo. Make sure that they feel comfortable to ask those difficult questions, and they may be quite graphic questions, or they may say, oh, I thought you were dead, or I thought this, or just be honest and clear and open with them really. But again, not to frighten them, but to really help them with their understanding, and again, provide a lot of reassurance. I've already spoken a little bit about their age and developmental levels. Timing, and looking for those verbal and visual clues. Not everything that's going to be related to SCAD, of course it isn't, so be mindful about that. But there may be some triggers that are beginning to sort of evolve really, where you think, yeah, maybe it's time to sort of go a little bit deeper into the depths of what happened and when it happened. And this may be weeks after the SCAD event, it may be years after the SCAD event in my experience. It can happen at any time, so just be mindful sometimes that they may need to ask those questions. Just put on the end here about teenagers and the charity Cardiac Risk in the Young, which I've been asked to speak about really, because my teenager now is a big boy, nearly 18 in June, but it was something for me I felt very important. I needed reassurance that his heart was okay. So for me, I sort of knew about cardiac risk in the young. I knew you could have a free ECG done as long as they're at least 14 years of age. It's very important that they are in their 14th, 15th year because of the changes in their own heart growing bodies. And my husband was totally against me going to have this test done. But I spoke very carefully to my son as to why I felt it was important, won him round, not too difficult. He was very sporty, he is very sporty. And I just felt that, we hear about something like 12 children a week are dropping down with this cardiac risk, undiagnosed conditions, and my husband was very adamant against it. Said, well, you're overreacting, and it's been rare, it's been hit by a bus and everything. And I said, I've been hit by a bus in some respects because I've had a SCAD, so I think he won round really. And that's something that I decided to do, but that's just a personal decision, and it's certainly not for everybody. But in my view, I needed that reassurance to know his heart was okay. I think it's really important. Today, obviously, it's been quite a heavy day at times, and I think, me being many, many years down the line, it's important, I think, all I would say to you is if you're, a parent, is to really be an advocate for your child, really, and show them that, yeah, you had this SCAD, but you can certainly lead pretty normal, healthy life, and it's really, really important to do that. You know, you're an advocate for them now, so I think it's important to live a healthy lifestyle, but to show them that, you know, you're not going to be controlled by this SCAD event. I think in the early years we are, and I certainly was for 3 years, I think, but as time goes by, it will get easier, it, you know, almost certainly will, and I think you become much, much stronger, but it's time. Time's the big, big thing for the physical healing, but also about the important psychological healing as well. That is really time. Triggers really that can happen for the children really as well is when they're not with you. Obviously they're at school and they're listening to the news, and it's important to think that sometimes there's a lot of you know, lots of children in school now are taught how to do CPR and first aid, and things can come up sometimes about hearts and heart attack, and you know, they can be hearing things that are pretty scary, and obviously they can identify with it because they know a parent has had this heart attack. So look for triggers there, and you know, if you're aware that the school's going to be talking about something to do with that, you know, maybe just have a chat with them first. Friends' experiences as well, you know, children can talk in the sort of negative sometimes about what happens to family and relatives, so again, be really careful about, you know, just reassuring them again that, you know, it doesn't always happen at the same time. And certainly with things in the media, I think last week, or the week before, I was listening to the news and there was 2 very, very high profile deaths of people that have had heart attacks, and I thought, well, pre-guess, I think, oh, I bet there was a heart attack, so I'm sure enough it was. And I think the children sometimes are hearing this in the news and sometimes absorbing that because they've heard this word heart attack. And I think it's really important that, you know, if you're in the room, you're mindful, just reassure them really that, yeah, yours was a certain type of heart attack, but you're here, and it really goes back to, again, being the advocate for them when you're strong enough, really. Their behaviours, let's face it, not all their behaviours, the acting out, is nothing to do with SCAD, so don't over-analyse their behaviours and try and put everything back to the SCAD, because 9 times out of 10 it won't be anything to do with that. They're just being normal children. So, you know, I think I've put here, again, when we talk about post-traumatic growth, my feeling there is we must take charge really of our SCADs ultimately, and that takes, as I said, it can take years, but it's how we cope individually. That's the important thing, and then you will have known you're growing basically, and you're going back to as normal life as you possibly can, depending on your outcomes of your SCAD. But I think it's important. I think my final message would be take control of those feelings and things, and when you're seeing doctors and working with people and talking to people about SCAD, don't be undermined by anybody. That would be my final thing. But you know, take control, because then you're as I said, you're the advocate for your child and your family members. So if you can look as though you're taking control and being the advocate, they can see actually you're on the roll to really improving and well-being again. Okay, thank you.